Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Welcome. Shout out to Sophie. How's everyone doing today? Shout out to Elijah. Shout out to Camila. Shout out to Valentina. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Ali. Shout out to Yoonjin. Welcome. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Katrina. Shout out to Scallion. Shout out to Markellius. Shout out to Ritash, Riri. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Mateo. Shout out to Sebelin. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Sierra. Shout out to, write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Natalie. Shout out to Jeremiah. Shout out to Emma. Shout out to Joel. Shout out to Sebastian. Shout out to Gustavo. Shout out to Ashlyn. Shout out to Martin. Welcome everyone. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Maya. Shout out to Ruth. Shout out to Yuki. Shout out to Zoe. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Also, please subscribe. I would truly appreciate your support. Shout out to Aja. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Lydia. Shout out to Callie. Shout out to Lyra. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Lucas. Shout out to Maddie. Shout out to Kimberly. Shout out to Brianna. Shout out to Molly. Shout out to Sophie. Shout out to Weston. Shout out to Sadie. Shout out to Alexis. Shout out to Melina. Shout out to Titus. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to Goku. Shout out to Jimena. Shout out to Brooke. Shout out to Princess. Shout out to Liberty. Shout out to Jaden. Shout out to Dahlia. Shout out to Ronaldo. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Gabe. Shout out to Zachariah. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Tori. Shout out to Gavin. Shout out to Joanne. Shout out to Lily. Shout out to Raina. Shout out to Melody. Shout out to Gracelyn. Shout out to Riley. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Ace. Shout out to Ghosty. Shout out to Ari. Shout out to Juliet. Shout out to Sunday. Shout out to Zuri. Shout out to, thank you, Gracie. Shout out to Haley. Shout out to Blue Monk. Excuse me. Shout out to Addie. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Liam. Shout out to Brielle. Shout out to Alistair. Shout out to Leroy. Shout out to Gary. Shout out to Gabriel. Shout out to Rosalie. Shout out to Olivia. Shout out to Kavnor? Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Shout out to Noah. Shout out to Maya. Shout out to Destiny. Shout out to Tori. Thank you for subscribing. Whoops, I think it was only one R. There we go. Shout out to John. Shout out to Julia. Shout out to Jonathan. Shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to Case. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Brooklyn. Oh, I already put Brooklyn. Oops. Shout out to Kennedy. Shout out to Joel. Shout out to Vena. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Annabelle. Shout out to Brooklyn. Oh, I already wrote Brooklyn. Brooklyn, you're right there. Shout out to Dominic. Shout out to Casey. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Kylie. Shout out to Dizzy Remington. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Jackson. Shout out to Layla. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Daniela. Shout out to Charles Lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Jamila. Shout out to Francisco. Shout out to Autumn. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Charles Lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Leah. Shout out to these people. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. On to the next page. Thank you so much for being here. I do shout outs every day around the same time as this. My channel is Nest DIY Corner. If you want to check it out, I would truly appreciate it. I also post other content. If you want to check out my YouTube shorts, I do tutorials for greeting cards. If you're interested, please check it out. Leave likes if you like the tutorials. I have different kinds of greeting cards for birthdays, for holidays, for Easter. Please check out my YouTube shorts. I would truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Toka Boca. Shout out to Dylan. Shout out to Jackson. Shout out to Mahala. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Carter. Shout out to Miles. Shout out to Layla. Shout out to Asher Wright. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Taylor. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Patrick. Shout out to Mario. Shout out to Asher Wright. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Nuff. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Jamila. Shout out to Izzy. Shout out to Gabby. Shout out to Sloan. Shout out to Smith. Shout out to Roman. Shout out to Bryce. Shout out to Maverick. Shout out to Kaya or Kaya. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Taylor. Shout out to Brianna. Shout out to Yunche. Shout out to Nyla. Nylia. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Owen. Shout out to Romira. Shout out to Maya. Or Mia. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Edie. Shout out to Clarabelle. Shout out to Easton. Shout out to Micah or Mika. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Genevieve. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Steven. Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to Aurora. Shout out to Romir. Shout out to Lucas. Shout out to Malaysia. Shout out to Madeline. Shout out to Mika. Shout out to Mika. Shout out to Grace. Shout out to Daniela. Shout out to Anthony. No, what was it? Oh yeah, Anthony. Shout out to Roland. Shout out to Harper. Shout out to Giannis. Shout out to Daniel. Shout out to Lorenzo. Shout out to Jason. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Spring. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Victoria Lalonde. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Celeste. Shout out to Amaya. Shout out to Socorro. Shout out to Gabriella. Shout out to Victoria Lalonde. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Hudson. Shout out to Marcus. Shout out to, excuse me. Shout out to Amy. Shout out to Angela. Shout out to Thiago. Shout out to Kinsley. Shout out to Maria. Shout out to Juliana. Shout out to Athena. Shout out to Sharks. Shout out to Kennedy. Shout out to Ishmi. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Pink Moon. Shout out to G-Man. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Randall. Shout out to Aubrey. Shout out to Lily Rose. Shout out to Maria. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Domingo. Shout out to Max. Shout out to Victoria Lalande. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Camila. Shout out to Noah. Shout out to Amani. Shout out to Rohan. Congratulations, Rohan. Keep it up. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to Alyssa. Shout out to Mia. Shout out to Francesca. Shout out to Jessica. Shout out to Gojo. Shout out to Peyton. Shout out to Aubrey. Shout out to Belkis. Shout out to Peyton. Shout out to Hussein. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Tristan. Shout out to Orozco. Shout out to Jacob. Shout out to Strawberry Shortcake. Shout out to Larissa. Shout out to Jayla. Shout out to Preston. Shout out to Serenity. Shout out to Caitlin. Shout out to Nelson. Shout out to Mac. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Your support means the world to me. On to the next page. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Please support my channel by either leaving a like, subscribing, or both. Your support means the world to me. and it really helps out my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. Also, please check out my channel. I post other content. Excuse me. Shout out to Serrano31. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Luke. Shout out to Farah. Shout out to Colton. Shout out to Jocelyn. Shout out to Jack. Shout out to Jada. Shout out to Troy. Shout out to Giselle. Shout out to Naomi. Shout out to Addison. Shout out to Zachariah. Shout out to Leslie. Shout out to Royalty. Shout out to Haley. Shout out to London. Shout out to Alexia. Shout out to Hannah. Shout out to Aaliyah. Shout out to Hannah. Shout out to Audie. Sorry if I mispronounced your Shout out to Tanae. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Oliver. Shout out to Vanessa. I'm so sorry if I haven't gotten to you. Shout out to Audra. I don't write the fastest, so I appreciate you taking the time to write your name. Thank you for your patience. Shout out to Omar. Shout out to Hasti. Happy birthday. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Brianna. Shout out to Jason. Shout out to Adriana. Shout out to Sarah. Give me 30 seconds, I'll be right back. Shout out to Ward. Shout out to Julia. Shout out to Ivan. Shout out to Joanna. Shout out to Priscilla. Shout out to Jamie. Shout out to Hiroki. Shout out to Courtney. Shout out to Nehemiah. Shout out to Zachary. Shout out to Mika. Thank you for showing me how to pronounce your name. Shout out to Huxley. Oopsie. Shout out to Jenny. Shout out to Kaylani. Shout out to Taylor. Shout out to Hiroki, I got you. Shout out to Noah. Shout out to Diviana. Shout out to Vinny. Shout out to Melanie Salazar. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Journey. Shout out to Steve Shearer. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Luca. Shout out to Daniela. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Callie. Shout out to Valentina. Shout out to Juliana. Shout out to Iris. Shout out to Parker. Thank you. Shout out to Val. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Thea. Shout out to Aubrey. Shout out to JJ. Shout out to Benito. Shout out to Elena. Shout out to Arendra. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Jackie. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Ronaldo. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Baylor. Shout out to Pink. Shout out to Kayliana. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Noah. Shout out to Shop. Whoops. Shout out to Willia. Shout out to Nam Yok. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Camilla. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Sarah Wallace. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Aaliyah. Shout out to Carla. Shout out to Mario. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Toko. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Excuse me. Shout out to Cadence. Shout out to Mariana. Shout out to Saul. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Fatima. Shout out to Liam. Shout out to CJ. Shout out to Nevaeh. Shout out to, oops, I spelled Nevaeh wrong. Shout out to Colby. Shout out to Patty. Shout out to Wella. Shout out to Emberlyn. Shout out to Dinesh. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Valentina. Shout out to Isaiah. Shout out to Princess Leanne. Shout out to Maxwell. Shout out to Courtney. Shout out to Yamila. Shout out to Bob. Shout out to Veronica. Shout out to Maria. Shout out to Risa. Shout out to Audrey. Shout out to America. Shout out to KJ. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Also subscribe. I would truly appreciate it. Shout out to these people. On to the next page. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. I live stream every day around the same time as this. I'm Ness and my channel is Ness DIY Corner. I also make greeting cards. Please check out my channel. I do greeting cards like this for birthdays. I do tutorials. I do tutorials like this. This is Hercules when he's a baby. And Pegasus, it's one of my favorite ones I've made. I've also done I do cute greeting cards like this. If you're interested, please check out my channel. I would truly appreciate it. I do different kinds of greeting cards. If you're interested, please check out my channel. I would truly appreciate it. And I also do like this as well. Shout out to Adeline. Adeline? Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Julianne. Shout out to Miss Aubrey. Miss Abry. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Isabella. Shout out to Bubbles. Shout out to Leah. Shout out to Bentley. Shout out to Camila. Shout out to Esmeralda. Shout out to Leah. Shout out to Jenny. Shout out to Carson. Shout out to Jenny. Oh, I already put Jenny. Shout out to Brooke. Shout out to Shadow. Oh, wait, no. Shout out to Liam. Shout out to I'm so sorry. But shout out to this person. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Shout out to you. Shout out to Adelina. Shout out to Zora. Shout out to Scarlett. Shout out to Team Green. Shout out to Paul. Shout out to Viviana. Shout out to Jennifer. Shout out to Susie. Shout out to Candy. Shout out to Tony. Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to Elise. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Shout out to Kiara. Shout out to Ali. Shout out to Ravine. Shout out to Stephanie, happy birthday. Shout out to Avi. Shout out to Adrian. Shout out to Roblox. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Kinsley. Whoops, I think I spelled Kinsley wrong. There we go. Shout out to Palestine. Happy birthday. Shout out to Lexi. Shout out to Callie. Shout out to Ariadne. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Laura. Shout out to Emma. Shout out to Ravi. Happy birthday. Shout out to Justice. Shout out to Amy. Shout out to Axel. Shout out to London. Shout out to Grandpa. Shout out to Cheeto. Shout out to Jordan. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Mary. Shout out to Angela. Shout out to Priscilla. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Shout out to Anthony. Shout out to Arena. Shout out to Ureli. Shout out to Team Black. Shout out to Sutton. Excuse me. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to Carson. Shout out to Kira. Happy birthday. Shout out to Sloan. Shout out to John. Shout out to Nehemiah. Shout out to Lydia. Thank you. Shout out to Jayla. Shout out to Rose. Shout out to Kiana. Shout out to Alice. Shout out to Kaliana. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Riley. Shout out to Maya. Shout out to Yasmin. Shout out to Dyson. Shout out to Sawyer. Shout out to Ray Ray. Shout out to Zeno. Shout out to Maya. Shout out to Kiara. Happy birthday. Shout out to Sherilyn. Oh no, how do you spell Sherilyn? Sherilyn. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Hannah. Shout out to Harmony. Shout out to Olivia. Shout out to Adele. Shout out to Rylan. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Axel. Shout out to Fatima. Shout out to Zane. Shout out to Yana. Shout out to Harmony. Give me 30 seconds, I'll be right back. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Kayliana. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Alexa. Shout out to Luna. Shout out to Kamari. Shout out to Isaiah. Shout out to Harold. Shout out to Georgia. I'm sorry for your loss. Shout out to Kenneth. Shout out to Matthew. Shout out to Jade. Shout out to Ezekiel. Shout out to Tilly. Shout out to Emily. Shout out to Ellie. Shout out to Catnap. Shout out to Marcus. Shout out to Isaac. Shout out to these people. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. I live stream every day around the same time as this. On to the next page. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Thank you so much for being here. I do shout outs every day around the same time as this. And I also post other content if you're interested. My channel is Nest DIY Corner. I hope you can like and subscribe. It would really help me out. Your support means the world to me. Thank you for being here. If you leave a like or if you subscribe or both, I would truly appreciate it. Shout out to Jimena. I'm so sorry if I haven't gotten to you. Thank you so much for your patience. Shout out to Harold. Shout out to Agatha. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Jake. Shout out to Christy. Shout out to Clara. Shout out to Sierra. Shout out to Ivan. Let's see. There we go. Shout out to, I'm gonna rewrite Ivan because I messed up. Here we go. Shout out to Nicholas. Shout out to Jazzy. Shout out to James. Shout out to Raylan, or Rylan. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Justice. Shout out to Ariel. Shout out to Harmony. Shout out to Kara. I hope you get better soon. Shout out to Amika. Shout out to Anaya, or Ania. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Lola. Shout out to Brandon. Shout out to Ashley. Shout out to Keith. Shout out to Kesha. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Hector. Shout out to Nathan. Shout out to Josiah. Shout out to Rana, or Raina, sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Nicole. Shout out to Jaquan. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Robbie. Shout out to Amelia. Shout out to Laura. Shout out to Visna. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Emma. Shout out to Gio. Shout out to Anelli. Shout out to Avery. Shout out to Jimena. Shout out to Dior. Shout out to Juliana. Shout out to Yana. Shout out to Maya. Shout out to Leo. Shout out to Alina. Shout out to Ali. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Sanvi. Shout out to Paris. Shout out to Brooke. Shout out to Greta. Shout out to John. Shout out to Lexi. Shout out to Mateo. Shout out to Miley. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Sarah. Shout out to Kiana, sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to Sophia. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Luna. Shout out to Tim. Shout out to Gianna. Shout out to Kirshanique Williams. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Channing. Shout out to Newman. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Tamron. Shout out to Brayden. Shout out to Tucker. Shout out to Yashvi. Shout out to Will. Shout out to Alexa. Shout out to Kennedy. Shout out to Kmari. Shout out to Yada World. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Natalie. Shout out to Paisley. Shout out to Dallas. Shout out to Rishi. Shout out to Cadence. Shout out to Rosie. Shout out to Janix. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Logan. Shout out to Kevin. Shout out to Bryce. Shout out to Noah. Shout out to Shay. Shout out to Imran. Shout out to Azur. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Perla. Shout out to Jack. Shout out to Brittany. Shout out to Riley. Can everyone hear me? Shout out to LeBron. Shout out to Somaya. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Emilio. Shout out to Harley. Shout out to Anne Marie. Shout out to Peyton. Shout out to Minnie. Shout out to Rain. Shout out to Christian. Shout out to Madison. Shout out to Emabit. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced her name. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Raquel. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Ashley. Shout out to Orpha. Shout out to Natalia. Shout out to Nolan. Shout out to Tyler. Shout out to Tatum. Shout out to Liam. Shout out to Marisol. Shout out to Rel. Shout out to Matthias. Shout out to Kessia. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Hunter. Shout out to Brock. Shout out to Ella. Shout out to Natalie. Shout out to these people. Shout out to Jaxio. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to these people. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the live stream. Please check out my channel. It's Nest DIY Corner. I post other content. I hope you can support my channel. I would truly appreciate it. Your support means the world to me. Thank you again for being here and for taking the time to write your name. I will see you all next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.